You were talking about Golden and how you heard a version of it, like as a cover that didn't sound as good, and it reminded me. I think it was one of the late night shows. I can't remember his name, but he presented. Apparently, they just went platinum. I just think that's cool. Can you imagine? You think you're just gonna be performing as a voice actor for some kids movie, some kids musical, and then you go international stardom. That's pretty cool. What are you doing?
I was listening intently
I don't
to
like
you
it.
telling a story.
I don't.
I was using
You looked very sensual.
all of my ears.
All of them? How many do you
Mhm.
have?
2. Was my word choice incorrect?
If you could have ears anywhere besides your head, where would you want them?
Where would I want them? They can't be on my head though.
No, it has to be somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Probably like shoulders.
Why?
You get bigger range. I got why I showed. Plus, it'd be easier. You know, like, let me clean that. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That's
When I
the
was a
sound of a
kid-
squeaky clean ear, by the way.
When I was a kid, I read a story about how these people knew that they were aliens because they were on another planet, and the people on that planet, their mouth was in their armpit. Like they had their mouth for talking, and then they had a mouth for eating, and their eating mouth was in their armpit.
Well, I'm going to use my talking mouth to say, welcome to episode 137. You can get to know my armpit mouth later, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm mindless. That's Prattle.
And welcome back to another week of all your favorite stories, comments, complaints, concerns, quandaries, queries, conundrums.
It's mostly conundrums.
Speaking of conundrums, we just learned that we get comments on Spotify. Apparently, they're supposed to tell us, and they did not.
Well, so I look at the stats on Spotify, right? And it, like, I open it up and it's like, hey, here's how many downloads and listens and whatnot. I'm like, sounds good, sweet. Been looking at it for 2 years now, plus, since we've been on Spotify, like since episode 1. And yesterday, this morning. This morning I got an email and it said, hey, you have one new comment on a video on Spotify. And I went, oh, weird. I haven't seen these before. And I open it up and it's like 4 comments, one of which is from this week, but the other 3 are from like 6 months ago, like a month ago, last week, then the one today. And I was like, what? When were you going to tell me, Spotify, that this is a whole section? And to get to comments, it's not even on the same like section. Like I had to click into a different area to find them. So, you know.
We swear
Now
we
I
don't
know.
hate you. We just are technologically inept. So thank you,
True.
Caleb, for all the comments. We appreciate you finding us funny and explaining to us what Canadians call popsicles. And that is a freezy. Is that what it says? Freezes?
It is. Oh, gosh. I kicked that camera. It deserved it. Now,
Well, thank you, Caleb. Caleb is someone who's been following me since my Twitch time, so I really appreciate you continuing to support us. Pretty cool, pretty cool. What's up?
that was all I had to say. Thanks for joining us. And
That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
You might be wondering how we got here.
I was birthed. Were you not birthed?
I was hatched.
Yeah. That tracks.
Just a little creature.
Mm.
So I've been complaining to Jordan about this peer review process because my thesis class wraps up in like 2 weeks.
All she's doing is humble bragging about it, by the way. She's like, my thesis.
But this guy, he was like, apparently he read my book outside of class and used it as a part of his comments for my thesis project, but basically was like, your character has dead parents and there's dead people in your book you published. You got to stop writing about these topics, basically. And I was like, fuck you. I'll write about dead people if I want to.
Also, everybody dies. It's not that uncommon.
I just really like exploring the topic of grief and how it affects us and changes us on like a personality level. I like to explore dark shit. Sorry. But I think it's funny, like, part of what I find really difficult to be an author is when it comes to feedback is knowing what feedback to let go and what feedback to keep. Um, a lot of times people will say like take what resonates, throw away what doesn't, but it's like how do you know if something's going to resonate with a lot of people or if it's just this one person's opinion? It's hard for me to find that balance of okay, this is valid criticism. I appreciate their time and effort to you're just being nitpicky and you just like you're not the right audience for my story, you know. So that's what I've been dealing with is trying to know like if I'm a terrible author and all my writing is bad and I should listen to everything this guy says or if it's just not his cup of tea, you know.
I have no idea.
But that's pretty much what I'm talking about.
On the optimistic side of things, there's a study currently going on with very promising early findings for a cure for Huntington's.
Oh yeah. How what is it? Is it like a medication type of thing or like what's the study
No,
for?
no, it's not a medication. So, do you know what Huntington's is? It's basically
It's a Lewy body disease, right?
I don't know who Louis is, but
Like Alzheimer's kind of?
it's in their genes, the little ones inside them, not the denim ones.
Okay.
Basically, what Huntington's is a part of your genetic code tells your body to produce a different part of genetic code that causes it, and that bad part of the genetic code breaks down your neurons in your brain, so they lose like memory functions, they lose motor control, and then they end up passing away usually, right? So what scientists have done, or are in the process of doing, right, is they created an injection that so far has shown over 75% like just success rate, which is crazy high for like an initial trial.
Also an injection, like that's
Right.
that's why.
And so what it is they injected a different strand of DNA into these patients' brains. I don't think they're doing it on humans yet, but into these brains, right? And basically told a different part of DNA to make a good DNA that will go and erase the bad DNA before the bad DNA kills your neurons.
Sounds kind of like what they've been doing with like viruses and cancer as well. I wonder if that's where they got the idea from.
I mean, all of it is relatively the same. Like they create small pieces of like antibodies to fight other small pieces. Much like how it's always the same that every episode the microphone ends up pointing past your face instead of into it. Like
Sorry, I was
like
just
right
trying to
now.
see if there was
Like right now. Like yep, there it is. There's the microphone.
I was trying to see if like there was like a classification to what type of genetic disorder that Huntington's is, but
I don't know, but it's very exciting for Huntington's, like patients and people with Huntington's, right? But it's also very exciting for a lot of other like genetic diseases because if it works, then that means that scientists can accurately edit genomes of DNA, inject it into people, and change their DNA, specifically like ones that cause like cancers and things like that, so that you could just have a shot that says, hey, here's some new DNA. Now you don't have cancer.
that's both amazing and terrifying for
It's
the
not
implications.
terrifying.
Well, because I mean, if they can do that, who's to say they won't be able to inject you with something that's like we're gonna erase something good from your DNA?
Normal people who don't read like horror and watch people fucking get murdered all the time on like YouTube. Like your YouTube video is like, I'm going to watch ASMR to fall asleep so that way I can wake up and watch people get murdered while I do makeup. Like that's your YouTube, all right? Mine is like, hey, here's some new science that we just discovered. Sweet. That's you and me.
I just
Different.
feel like that's what a lot of corporate interests would go towards or military like applications.
That's why it's mostly hopeful that these studies aren't being done in the United States. See, now you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Scientists doing science. Crazy.
Because the brain drain right now is wild.
Yeah, the world's getting stupider.
It's like, I was thinking about this today, but I think people tend to believe that we are so far removed from history and people used to be like crazy dumber than us or something. But it's like, no, like altogether, we haven't changed that much as a species. We've just gotten better or different technology. But overall, shit's still shit, you know?
Nah, I feel like people have gotten dumber.
Why?
Just basic like standardized test scores have gone down across the nation like drastically.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at in a short time period of just like the United States, I would agree partially.
What is short time period to you? Because I'm talking about like across the last few generations, the amount of knowledge has decreased, and
Like
even then, the
the
amount of
past like
knowledge
100 years, like yeah, we've gotten dumber.
yeah, that's a pretty critical 100 years. You know what happened 100 years ago from today? Yeah, all right. Well, that's roaring 20s. That's what we got going on.
I just got really nauseous. Just needed a second.
Okay. She got so worked up. Everybody was like, "We'll get it out there. I swear."
I've been having so many issues with bouts of nausea.
Oh yeah, now's the time to use big words. Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna throw up, but
That's
I
good.
guess we'll
That's
see.
good. Did you see the article about the man that was arrested for eating his pet peacock? And someone responded and be like, "This is the most pretty privileged shit I've ever seen. No one bats an eye when you kill and eat a chicken, but oh, the colorful peacock gets killed and eaten, and suddenly it's a crime." It's like, it's fucking true.
I mean, it is also one of the most beautiful birds in the world, and
Beautiful by whose standards? It's got colors and long feathers. What does that make? How does that make it beautiful? I'd
What?
argue that a hummingbird is just as beautiful,
well,
if not more.
aren't peacocks like super rare?
How are they rare?
I thought they were like rare.
Are peacocks rare? I don't know. I doubt it. Are peacocks rare?
Not the common blue peacock.
Peacocks are not considered rare. However, certain variants, particularly white peacocks, are rare. Okay, well, yeah, so no. Peacocks aren't rare. I don't think they're endangered. One
aren't
of the
native to the
peacocks
United States.
subspecies have been declared endangered. Yeah, like they're not rare. They're just birds. Like,
They're just birds.
they are. They're just birds. Like you can honestly, like you know what I mean. Like if you had a cardinal, and you ate the cardinal, no one would care.
I would care.
Single color, right? But as soon as you get into like parrots, you're like, whoa, too many colors. Can't be eating that. There was an episode of Futurama where they ate hummingbird wings in
I don't remember that episode.
yeah. Here's what the episode. Let me set the backstory for you. So they're going to Oktoberfest, right, in the fertile Neander Valley, and there's a sausage making competition that they're taking part in, and so he brings out a Craigslist pig, and he said, "Whoa, this ain't gonna cut it for this competition. Look, he's using." Like the some angel wings that have been roasted, right? I'm using pork that's been aged for like 3,000 years. And he goes, at him, he's using only the choicest cuts of hummingbird. And he's got like a scalpel and he's like cutting little tiny choice like cuts of hummingbird off. And then they had sausage made of hummingbird. So yeah, you were more offended at that than like the angel wing thing. One of the sausages was angel wings.
Okay.
And you're like, ugh, they killed an angel? Whatever. They harmed a hummingbird. Pretty privilege because it's colorful. I'm telling you. See?
I mean,
No, that's true. You got birdism, all right?
I don't.
Mm-hmm. Like why?
Would eating an angel be technically cannibalism? Do they count as like a whole other species, or like how does that work?
Do you have wings?
No, not currently.
Did you get them cut off? What? No, it's not. Whew.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty sure, right? Like the only issue with a lot of it is because of the colors. Like it's not rarity, you know? Like why is peacock, why can you not eat it? It's a bird. Roast just the same as any other bird.
I guess that's true.
Most birds in the
We
world are
do,
not rare.
as a species, tend to assign morality to the types of animals we're willing and allowed to eat.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like cat. What?
I would rather starve to death than eat a cat.
Any cat. You were starved to death before you just like, hey, let me try some. Why?
Because I would be sad.
Okay. But alive.
I'd rather eat a person.
But alive. Like,
Because, like, the
see?
people can give consent to being eaten before they die, right? Like, if you're in a survival or emergency situation, then I'm like, yes,
So
you
if
can eat
a
me
cat
after I
died
die.
in front of you and you were starving to death, you wouldn't eat it because it didn't tell you to. It's already dead. You didn't kill it.
I just don't know if I can.
I don't know if you can either, but you might want to figure it out. Because,
Why can't I eat something else?
like what? A peacock?
Like a tree.
You're going to eat a tree.
Tree bark is good for you.
Yeah, if you're a termite. What are you talking about? Tree bark is good for you.
Termite.
Are you
Would
a
you still
Japanese
love me if
water
I was a
beetle?
giant sandworm?
Huh? No. What? Where am I going to get sand?
The desert?
I don't live in a desert. You want me to be like live in the desert just because you need sand all of a sudden? That's crazy.
I would like ramen for dinner. Ramen and chicken nuggets.
Like, how many colors does an animal have to have before you're like, can't eat that? You know what I mean?
3.
3 colors.
After 3, it's too many.
So,
Why are you being selfish? Leave some colors for the other animals.
okay. So, like, a 4th color means don't eat.
But
But 3 colors, you're fine.
3 or less.
3 or less colors. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I'm just asking. It's a general question.
I don't want to be the one who decides those things.
I mean, you've got at least 3 colors on you, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay.
I have 4.
I'm just that, But what plays a factor in it? Like, what makes you think that 4 is the cutoff?
I don't know. It just seemed like a good number.
That's fine. I don't.
Like, after 4, you're just being selfish.
Why? So you're saying if it has 4 or more colors, we can eat it or we can't?
Can't.
We can't eat things with 4 or more colors. Why?
Because that's just too many.
So you can eat a tiger.
No?
Well, it's got less than 4.
Aren't tigers endangered?
That's not what I asked. It's got less than 4.
Theoretically, yes.
All right. I'll get you an elephant. That's less than 4.
I don't want to eat an elephant.
I didn't ask if you wanted to. I said, would you?
I wouldn't.
Why not? It's got less than 4.
Yeah, but your thing is yelling. Elephants are so smart.
Oh, so now it's intelligence.
And they're sweet. I don't want to eat them.
Most snakes are pretty friendly.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Not the ones I've met.
That's because you're scary.
I also wouldn't eat a snake. What's your point?
Why not?
Because I
Snake
Don't.
tastes good.
I'm sure they do. I just don't want to eat them.
Very lean, muscly. You eat a lot of fish that are more than 4 colors.
I don't.
Why not?
Because I don't like fish.
But you would.
Yes, I would.
So it's now we've established they have to be dumb and not colorful. But if they're dumb and colorful, then it's fine.
Fish feel a lot of pain too, though.
Okay. Was there a second sentence? I got to.
It makes me feel sad.
And less hungry.
Yeah.
All right, then. You can be both. You're allowed to
We're
have
the
both.
only species that can feel guilty for having to consume other species.
Says who?
Do you think a T-Rex felt sad when it ate another animal?
Do you think a cricket feels sad when it eats some grass? Like, I don't know. You ever talked to a cricket? No. All right. Jiminy passed away a while ago. Okay. We tried to go to the island. That was a wild movie. You ever see that one?
Which one?
Pinocchio, where all the little boys went to that island and then like died.
No, I don't like the story of Pinocchio.
So you never saw that one?
No.
Okay.
It sounds kind of disturbing, though.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. I don't know why I was allowed to watch that.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising for you.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, so let me set it for you. So, Pinocchio comes to life, right? And he's being guided by the cricket.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to be a real boy. So he gets lured to this island where it's all fun and games. And that's how they lure all the other little boys to this island. And then all I really remember is them going through like a waterfall and then they don't come back. And like Pinocchio has to escape from the island somehow because he doesn't want to die after he becomes a real boy.
Did he become a real boy by all those boys dying?
I think it was because of the magic water or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've tried not to watch this movie. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, leave a comment because I feel like I'm not crazy. There's definitely some movie about Pinocchio and all the little boys going to this island and he's like the only one to come back and they just don't address the fact that all the other little boys died.
They're like, moving on.
Yeah. And you're like, what a wild thing to do.
I was like, I don't know what the most messed up movie I was able to watch as a kid was because my mom let me watch a lot.
Probably The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That movie's pretty fucked up.
Do you like the opening scene is just a massacre and you don't really realize it as a kid watching it because you're like, oh,
there's
fire,
so many movies
sure.
like that where as a kid I was like, oh yeah, great, and then I watched it as an adult and I'm like, this is depressing as hell. Like what? like as a kid you're like, oh, they're singing songs, and as an adult
they're
you're like,
singing a song at the beginning of the Hunchback of Notre Dame and it's literally him singing about how he can't kill all the gypsies. That's his song. Like that's it. And then there's a song later where he's in like his chambers and he's singing about how he is conflicted because he knows he has to kill all the gypsies because God told him to, but he's also horny for the gypsy lady.
Oh, Esmeralda.
Yeah. I wasn't going to name drop, but all right, whatever. And so, like that's a whole scene and you're like, all right.
Well, and I think they used to be so much better about making movies like serious themes and stuff like that. Like Mulan, for example. I really love Mulan's soundscape. Like A Girl Worth Fighting For, you know, they get to the end and they see the drop doll from this village that's been destroyed. And then there's not another song for the rest of the movie.
I felt like there was a song at the end.
Like at the very end when they go to save the emperor, they
yeah.
sing like for a moment, but it's not like a full song.
Oh,
They are like,
I'm thinking of just like soundtrack. I was like, there's music, but there's no songs. You're right. Yeah.
But it's also because they had a girl worth fighting for, and it was the little girl that died.
That's kind of pedophilic, but okay. What? They're singing about like how they want
I know.
women to be like cook and clean and care for them.
Yeah, that's like the
And
part of the point though
you're
is
saying
like
that
the
it's
whole thing
little
is like
girl?
they want a girl worth fighting for, like someone they can kiss and all this sort of stuff. But the girl that was worth fighting for was the little girl that if they had just hurried up and like did all these things, they might have had a chance to save her. But they were so concerned with other stuff.
They were training. Like as soon they cut off their training to go follow it, and the only reason they were cut off from training is because the dragon gave them the fake scroll to go help the people that got massacred already.
That's true.
So like they weren't procrastinating anything.
Yeah, but
They weren't even supposed
I
to
do think
be
that's
there.
a very interesting like
Like,
concept of how they use sound in that. I love movies that play around with stuff, like the Hush movie. That is still, I think, one of the best scary movies I've ever seen.
oh yeah, with the deaf woman
Yeah.
in the cabin. Yeah.
Like where silence was used so well, and like even though
Sound is incredibly important, especially in like horror movies or like graphic things. If you don't believe me, if you've seen 127 Hours, have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's a movie about a guy. It's based off real life, who goes hiking. I think it's out in Arizona, I want to say, and he ends up getting trapped under a boulder. Like his arm gets trapped under a boulder, and he didn't tell anybody where he was going. He didn't tell anybody when he's supposed to be back, so nobody knows where he's at. Right? He ends up having to cut off his arm with a pocket knife.
a pocket knife,
Yeah. After
not
he
even
was
like an axe.
no, he was stuck under the boulder for 127 hours. He cut his arm off with a pocket knife, and then scrambled out and found some other hikers who called, paramedics, and they got him out, and he's fine now. He's down an arm, but he's fine now. But if you watch the scene where he's cutting off his arm, it is hard to watch. But if you watch it with the sound turn off, not very hard to watch, turns out. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, there's blood, but you can't hear the sounds of it. It's very different. Like, it's crazy the difference it makes. You should watch it.
Or like what's the movie with Jonathan Krasinski directed, the movie with the sound?
What's
What
it
is
called? There's two of them, right?
3. They made
There's
a third
3?
one that's
Oh.
about the beginning of it with the cat.
I haven't seen any of them, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh my gosh, we should watch them. They're really good.
It's,
But in the first one, so basically the whole premise of these movies, is like the creatures like find people via sound. And in the first one, his wife is pregnant. And there is a scene where she starts to give birth in their bathroom while one of the creatures is like running around their house looking for them. And she has to give birth completely in silence. And the actress, I can't remember what her name is. It's not Emily Blunt, I don't think.
It's called A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place, yeah. But there's a scene where she's giving birth and like she's just such a good actress, but that movie used silence so effectively that it was crazy. And it's like every little grunt or little sound that the characters make in this movie, you're like, oh, like you're cringing along with them, like fuck,
Sandra Bullock was in a similar one. Did you see that?
Yes,
It
I
was like
did.
the spin-off where they
Bird
couldn't-
Box.
Yeah, they couldn't look, but they could hear. I'm like, that one was.
There was
eh.
like 4 or 5 movies that year with the same exact premise, actually.
Yeah, that one was. Because I saw Bird Box because it was supposed to be pretty good, and I was like, that was just okay. And then I saw the reviews. It was like, no, it looks like it's based off A Quiet Place, and A Quiet Place is much better. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I liked Bird Box, but mostly for comedic value because, like, in that one, Sandra Bullock is this pregnant woman,
I don't think she's pregnant.
Oh, wait. Is it this?
No,
one?
that one's the Bird Box is the one where she doesn't like kids, but then she meets a guy like during the apocalypse, and he takes in some kids, and then he dies. So now she has to take care of these kids, and she doesn't like kids.
Oh. Maybe I'm thinking about a different movie. There was one I watched where this lady was pregnant, and she didn't have anybody. Like, they all died. I think it might have been, like, the one that was like A Quiet Place in Bird Box. Because there's another one I've seen on Netflix.
No.
But she meets this woman who gives birth you sure it's not the Sandra Bullock one? I'll have to look at it later, but she
I don't
dies,
think she was pregnant in
and
that.
the main character is forced to take care of both her kid and this other lady's kid, and she calls them girl and boy.
That might be Bird Box, because that
Unless I'm confusing like two different movies.
no, in the movie she is pregnant at the beginning of the story. Yeah, no, she is pregnant during the film. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because
couldn't
I remember
remember.
that was like a big part of the plot was like this other woman was pregnant and like you have to take care of my kid, whatever. And then that woman dies and she has to take care of both of them, but she calls them boy and girl because she's so scared to get attached to them.
Yeah,
when they
'cause
could
they'll
just die at any
and she
moment.
just doesn't like it. It's crazy.
They never explain like why seeing these creatures would kill them.
No, the premise was like if you looked at the creatures, you would go crazy, and one of two things would happen: either you would kill yourself, or if you were the subplot was like if you were already insane, if you looked at them, you would become like their servants and go find other people and force other people to look at them. Like there was a whole cult almost behind it. It was kind of weird, but
Yeah, that one didn't have like a lot of sense to me. But
no. And then the creatures were afraid of birds, but only if you had a lot of birds. So like the end of the movie, they got to like a safe sanctuary, and the only thing that made it safe was that they had a ton of birds living there. And I was like,
no, they were. It was also like a school for the blind, was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But they had a ton of birds, and they were like, oh, they stay away from the birds. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. It was like school for the deaf, and then or school for the blind, and then they had a bunch of birds.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
And it just abruptly ended. Oh, I should watch a movie.
This has been episode 137 of Mindless Prattle. If you like what you heard, make sure to check out Dead Parents, the book, otherwise known as The Soul Queen's Promise.
Also, there's no dead parents in that one. It's dead husband, okay?
Okay, but where are her parents?
They're in Devlin. Or they're in, Doreed.
It's not mentioned in the book.
Yes, it is.
It's mentioned that like they train with her, and then they like kind of give her away, and then she runs away, and then that's it.
Yeah, but I never said they died. They're literally just in her home city.
They just abandoned her. Okay. Dead parents. Anyway, if you've got dead parents, or if someone you know has parents, go ahead and check out The Soul Queen's Promise. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's on Amazon. It's on some other places too.
My first
It's been a long
newsletter
day.
for our book website comes out on Friday.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Comes out weeks ago,
Yep.
actually. I forgot we really recorded ahead of time.
Even if we didn't, even if we were recording this for next week, it would still be last Friday. You are historically bad about knowing when these episodes come out.
Well, go to my... Sorry. Go to modernguardpublishing.com and follow my newsletter for information and updates about all my authorly things.
Oh my gosh, that was not even close to a clean take for that audio. Like I couldn't even hear it, and you're in my ears. Try again.
Go to modernguardpublishing.com for all your publishing needs and to follow my newsletter. Thank you.
I did good. I didn't laugh during that. Like I kept it in. Professional.
You're such a good husband.
Pinky up professional. That's what I am. Just saying.
Time for me to go have chicken nuggies and ramen.
Oh, now we add. Okay.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening.